Excellent. Welcome to our March 3rd broadcast. In the year 2019. It's probably like our 40-something. What was that? Is the recording working?
I forgot to hit mute on my computer.
Okay, well, make sure you hit mute on your computer. Okay. Yay! We're a little bit late to the game setting up. I'm sorry we're like a minute or two late, but we've had a crazy morning full of work. And yesterday was our anniversary, so we kind of took the day off, sort of, yesterday. So it was, today was kind of a catch-up as far as like trying to get to all the emails and all the work that piles up when you apparently take 5 hours off of work.
Yes, but that's fine.
That's okay. But it's,
yes,
it was our 22nd anniversary. That's a lot of years. It's
22 even.
20, I said 22nd. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, 22 years. That's a lot of years. Well over half my life. And as you can probably tell, some of you, if anybody's in the room yet, some of you guys might recognize this painting as the one I was working on, was it weekend before last, I think?
I think so.
I think it's weekend before last I was working on this one. And then last weekend I started working on the Belle Dame Sans Merci, which was, I had to, if you watched last Sunday, you probably know I was in a big hurry because I needed to finish it up and get it to the magazine publishers by that next morning. So I just like pulled an all-nighter and I finished that painting, and I will show you how it turned out in a little bit. But in the meantime, I've just put this one back on my easel. I don't think I've done anything since the last time that I showed work on this. Which is kind of intentional because I wanted to have a painting that I worked on totally start to finish from here on Twitch. And I have not really done that except with like mini paintings or something. So you can see the beginning of this painting if you go back on my archives tab here at Twitch, or if you look at Jasmine Becket as one T, at YouTube, you can see my archive videos going back a year or so. And you can see how I started off with the sketch and start doing the underpainting, and now I'm more in the finishing layers of it, but there are still areas that don't have a whole lot of color. And yeah, I don't think I've even touched this since the last time you guys were watching. So you can kind of Bob Ross it and watch how it started and look at the next one, and you can watch her as she comes to life. I think the only part that is completely done so far in this one is the background. I've got this lovely, I'm very happy with the sky. I love the sky. I don't know how good it shows up like on the TV camera thing, but the colors are really subtle, how they shift from like kind of a warm color that is probably an evening moon, but it could also be a mid-afternoon sun, and it's very cloudy out, and it starts off kind of warm browns and yellows and oranges and turns into like bluish green and then fades into this wonderful sort of patineur and Flemish background, which I super dig. So. And I've done a lot of work on the face so far. I think you guys have pretty much mostly seen that. There are some things I'm changing a little bit with the eyes. Usually when I get to this point of a painting, that's when I look at it and I hold it up to a mirror, I turn it upside down and say, hey, is one of our eyes kind of like looking the wrong direction, or trying to balance things out? So I'll be talking about that while I'm working on this, because it's like, I think that the eyelashes on this one are a little bit lower than the ones on that one, and I want to make her look like she's not half asleep, even though it is an absinthe painting, and that would probably make you super sleepy. But I will probably be working that a bit. Then I'll be working on the fabric, because I've had a lot of people ask me, hey, what color dress is her dress going to be on this Absinthe Reflections painting? So we'll talk about the fabric.
Her dress is really lovely.
It is a lovely dress, and I'll show you guys too. If you've already seen this before, if you saw me start on her, you would have seen the painting I kind of based her off of. It was Louis XV's wife, whose name was Marie, as was a popular name back then, but she had a magnificent dress. And the dress itself is kind of based on that because I want it to be that sort of era of clothing, so I'm looking at, but I don't want like the same colors and things. I did just the shape of the sleeves, the skirt, and her little corset and everything. I want it to kind of look like that. Also, since it is supposed to be a recreation of a painting I did about, I forget, 20 years ago called Absinthe Afternoon, where it's got a nice curtain and a big window and little absinthe on a table. This is a painting I like from, hundreds of years back, from the Louis XV era in France, that has a curtain in a window, and she's got like a little wine glass or something. So I'm kind of doing a more old-timey version of my older painting, And of course, I'm a better painter now, so it's more realistic and a lot more detailed. So if you were to combine this wonderful historical piece with my painting, which is historical for me from 20 years ago, that is kind of the thing I'm going for in this picture. You probably, if you want to hear more about the reason behind this painting and the story behind it and that type of stuff, just look at my previous Twitch broadcast, because I think we done 2 or 3 of this one.
No, I don't remember. I just remember that
it all kind of blurs together.
With this one, I think it's on Twitch.
Yeah, I think pretty much from the sketch onward, the only time I worked on it, I think, as being on Twitch. There might have been like an hour or 2 after Twitch, because often I keep painting even after you guys have left, because I try to keep it at about 4 hours, as you probably noticed here on Twitch, because if it gets longer than that, my computer starts doing weird stuff, and I don't know if it's like the RAM or the memory, or the memory is RAM, but or something. It will start to not cut me off. It'll start getting errors and pop-ups, and it's like 4 hours is pretty good. And also when I parse it and I export it to YouTube, if it's more than 4 hours, YouTube is like, no, too much data, that's ruining things. They'll make me do it in 15-minute intervals, which is really annoying if you're trying to watch something on YouTube and it's 15 minutes. I hate that. So I assume everybody else hates it too. Yeah.
If you did that through voice command, would it be parcel tongue?
It would be parcel tongue. No,
Okay,
parse,
just
P-A-R-S-E.
Okay.
It's the word when you shorten something and take the important bits. It's like, hey, I read this whole book. I'm going to parse it for you and put it into paragraphs. And it's the Apple Classics Edition version of something.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Parse, P-A-R-S. Maybe I'm not using the word right.
No, I know it. I play dumb sometimes.
Okay. Yeah, it's for the benefit of the viewer. Not that the viewers are dumb. But
no, the viewers are very clever.
No,
so
but not everybody. English is not everybody's first language, and that's a weird word. So, yeah. Okay. Parse. It's to glean the information and make it as short and elegant as possible. So, I am... And also, like I said, I did finish the La Belle Dame sans Merci painting, and we will show you her later, because she's still here in my studio. I have not varnished her yet, but
we'd be happy to.
She is
I'm sure people are excited
she has
to see
technically
it.
found a home, so she is theoretically sold. We always take backups, though, in case somebody really... we had a few backups, but if for some reason the first person list doesn't come through, we take backups. Yeah.
H. Lennon asks, is Luna Moth's pins being sent out? Or is it still the cupcake one?
It will be sent out with the March pin of the month. So she should be all ready to send out with March pin of the month. So if you were to sign up, I think we figured out if you signed up now, it's only like literally the next few people, because we have both. You'll probably get because it's technically March now. It's not February is a short month. I think you'll get a Luna Moths and a strawberry cupcake. So that's kind of cool. So if you're not a Patreon pin person, if you sign up now, I think you get both of them, because you get this one, because we still have a few left of her. We actually found a few in a little plastic baggy thing. I was like, oh, okay, well, we'll keep sending them out as long as we have them. And we'll have, and this is strawberry cupcakes, and then we will have Luna Moths, and will be shipped along with the March pin of the month.
Strawberry cupcakes will stop shipping
She will stop after the last one's, or not the last one that's designated for Patreon people is sent out. Then it will switch over to Luna Moths. Mm-hmm. And if you are one of the lucky people at the very end of February, very beginning of March, you will end up getting both. So,
if you've been here all along.
If you've been here along, you will have gotten both. As always, if you're a Patreon pin collector, you will get every one that comes up. So, but yeah, as long as I have them, I'll send them in there. It doesn't make the package weigh that much more. So yeah, if I have one, I'll stick them both in there. Yeah.
Elhurt says, "I love the finished La Belle for Tintagel."
Yes, I have. Not a lot of people have seen the finished one yet. I'm trying to. They might be a Patreon person.
Now let me ask you, Jasmine. Mm-hmm. Who would be the lucky people that would have seen that?
The lucky, I think I could be wrong, because I sometimes mix things up and I have like a million social medias going on. But I think right now the only people who have seen the finished one, some people might have seen me working on the helmet, I think, like people on Instagram, but I think the only people who have seen the actual finished ones are the, quote, top secret people on Patreon. So they're the people who get to see things first, which is, that's kind of what you subscribe for. But I have put on my Instagram, my Facebook, when I was almost done. I hadn't signed it, and I think I was still working on the grass and stuff, but the helmet, which I've had a few artist friends tell me, wow, the reflections on that is so cool. And that is the time I probably put the most time working on the little helmet, because I kind of had to make that up, and it's fun to think of, oh, it's reflective. It's like a mirror. You've got to paint a tiny little
It also has
MC
remarkable
Escher
depth.
version. Yeah, it does. And
it goes into the painting.
I promise I'll show that to you guys in a second. I just want to try to finish one thing up in here real quick, and then I will show you guys how she turned out. And so the only people I think who have seen her finished would be some of the Patreon people, and then the people at Fairy Magazine, or Fae Magazine, FAE Magazine, where she'll be debuting.
Has the piece been spoken for?
This piece,
no,
or
not this piece.
the Belle Dame Sans Merci. We are considering her sold, because we have a customer who is going to theoretically pick her up at Tintagel. Sometimes, I'm sure she's probably sold, but we always take backups in case that person has a family emergency or something like that, and they can't come through. So we always take backups. So even though she is she's 99.9% sold, we take backups in case something happens and they're not able to get her. So it's like, hey, that didn't work out, and it might be a month or two from now, like, oh, they weren't able to come, so we're gonna. So we always take backups. Even also too, sometimes we work with installments on some of my larger original paintings like that. We do installment plans, and sometimes we don't know until halfway through. Then they're like, oh, never mind. And we're like, okay, you forfeited your installments, but we now she's available again. So that has happened, not often, and usually it is because something sad happens or whatever. But so we always take backups, even if it's something that says sold. Unless I've physically mailed it or handed it to somebody, we always take backups. And we have gotten quite a few backups on that one. Whenever it's one, I think that we do up here at Twitch, we have a lot of people who not necessarily are on Twitch, but a lot of people kind of lurk and watch. People who are collectors, and this is the way that you can see it before the rest of the world. And,
definitely. And
that gets a lot of collectors up here. I was thinking that the eyelashes I did on her left hand side, her eye there, were bigger than the ones over here. So right now I'm just trying to balance that out a bit. Yeah.
Lady Dracula wants to say, hey, you guys, so much music here in Animal Kingdom.
Oh.
I won't be able to follow, but wanted to say hi.
Oh, wow. So they're at
Disney,
the Animal
basically.
Kingdom right now. And Animal Kingdom does have some great music. They have so many live musicians who perform there in the different areas. They've got that. Oh, what's the sitar guy? I bought a CD from him actually.
I had to buy the CD off his website.
Yes,
because he doesn't sell.
He doesn't sell them there at Disney, but you could look him up and find it online.
He's one of the best things.
He is fantastic. He is one of my favorite people who work at Disney, because he is just there in the Animal Kingdom, which is an amazing animal park.
He is just grooving.
And he is just like his eyes closed, and it's like nobody else is there, and he's just grooving on his sitar, and he does an amazing job, and he does that every hour or two. And
he's like the
you
caterpillar
can just, sit
from
there,
Alice
and it's
on
like,
his Pillow.
It is.
Right.
It's like you can go there and you can go get your South African wines or whatever, and it's in the Africa part of the Animal Kingdom, so the animals are from there. A lot of the workers actually are from Africa, and they come work there, and it kind of makes it like a cultural thing. And then it turns into India a bit when you go to the Indian section, by where like the Bengal tigers and everything are, and they have the guy playing the sitar, and he is fantastic. If you are ever there, he is worth sitting there. Go get some samosas and some South African wine, because you're on the India/South African border, apparently, in that part of the park, and that is a nice evening. Yeah.
Kelly Sarah.
Yeah.
Of Ian and Kelly Sarah.
Of Ian and Kelly, yes.
When will the prints of the picture Jasmine was working on last week be available?
La Belle Dame Sans Merci.
Wouldn't that be Tintagel?
We're debuting the prints at Tintagel. So that would be May the 4th. I don't know. I know they're in the UK. I don't know if they will be at Tintagel.
We're not sure when it would be available on the website,
but
maybe?
It will be after that event. So if we are in Tintagel, that event is on May the 4th, right? Because it's a Star Wars Day, right? It's May the 4th be with you and all that. But we will probably spend some time after that at our London flat, because we'll be like within a few hours of it. I mean, Tintagel sounds like a long way from London, but if you have a house there, it doesn't seem as far. So we're probably going to go there, and I've got some pieces in progress that are still at my London house, so I've got to go work on those. And so we'll probably be maybe the 2nd or 3rd week of May. We should have the prints available.
Jasmine.
If they are looking for a masterpiece edition, we are taking reservations for that one. So if you're on Twitch or on Patreon, you can say, "Hey, Jasmine, save me one," because I'm only making 5 of the fancy hand-painted editions. So if you want one of those, email us now.
Jasmine.
Yeah.
Angel Girl says she won't be here long.
Oh.
She's helping on her makerspace. They're partnering with Magic Wheelchair.
Oh, that sounds cool.
To turn a kid's wheelchair into an X-Wing fighter.
Oh my
Ship
God.
at Cleveland Comic Con next weekend, and there's still a ton to do.
Oh, that sounds
Is
awesome,
it cool
though.
if she puts up pictures of that
pin
group?
Yeah, please, feel free, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
I know it's not pin related, but say, "Hey,
Yeah.
Jasmine said," I know, if you want to put something like Jasmine on Twitch said it was
go
okay
ahead
I
and put
posted
that. Up
That's
the
a
pin
good
group.
way
That's
to...
cool. We said it here on
also,
Twitch.
too, if you're
We said
not
it was
in
okay.
there's a group that I didn't make, but it's kind of official. I think my sister helps run it. It's called the JBG Collectors Group or Jasmine Collectors, or do you know what it's called, Maddie? It's a Facebook
Yes,
group.
I may have the link.
Yeah, Matt might have a link to it, and that's kind of one that's kind of like the pins group, but it's for stuff that isn't just for pins. So that would be a good one to post out too, because a lot of the people who like that sort of thing would probably love to see that. So is it for a specific person then that they're working on
Yes,
their
I
wheelchair
think so.
for? That is so cool. And it's for a convention, like you guys. I've seen some people who have wheelchairs do pretty amazing things at conventions, because that's a good excuse to like make a costume for your wheelchair too.
There used to be a gentleman. When, believe it or not, Jasmine and I had a wee bit more free time, and we'd go to Epcot as much as we could.
Oh, yeah.
There's a guy who does really cool things with his wheelchair up at Epcot.
Yes, he has like the equivalent of like ground effects, like it's a lowrider thing
And it
that
works
has
with beats.
it's like, you know, if you go to a concert or even at Disney where you have lights that correspond to the music. He would do that at different places in Epcot, but he had his whole wheelchair set up like that, so it was like a parade float. It was pretty cool. I know, I can't think of his name. He's at some of the Disney groups online that I go to. That is a great, wonderful excuse to dress up something fun and make it for a convention. Oh, speaking of too, I don't think I even knew this last weekend, Maddie. Kansas City people, NakaCon is happening in a few weeks.
Yes, the 14th and 5th.
It's on my little paper calendar in front of
I've
you.
got it right here.
And I won't be there in person because I won't be in my Kansas area then. I think I'm either here in Florida or maybe I'm in England, or I'm in California. I'm somewhere, but I won't be in Kansas City. But my
15th, 16th, and 17th.
Okay, so March 15th, 16th, and 17th in Kansas City, and that's at the Overland Park Convention Center. I think, yes, NakaCon. NakaCon, or is it K-O-N? NakaCon. It's probably
NakaAKON?
K-O-N. So it's not,
Cute.
it's con, like, because it's NakaCon, yeah. But I will have a booth there, but I won't physically be there in person, but Amber, my sister, and her husband Chris, and their family will be running the booth. And if you are pin people, they are both going to have their pin trading lanyards, and they have some rare pins that they've ended up with, either from trading with other people or left over from the Ren Fair or from DragonCon or something, and they have cool pins that you probably can't find anywhere else, and they will trade any Strangeling pin for any Strangeling pin.
Jasmine.
Yep.
Shaylee was in London last week.
Shaylee, you've been to London a lot, man. That's
and she was in a cafe.
Yeah.
And Matt Berry walked right past.
Oh my gosh, really? He definitely hangs out there, doesn't he?
Yeah, I told her that kind of. I think I told her before that kind of happened to us.
Yeah, I don't want to fangirl out too much, but yeah, I love Matt Berry as
So
Shaylee.
Was it cool. Down by where the shows are? Was it down?
Was it like by like
Square?
the National Gallery and stuff? Or because we saw him going to an Italian restaurant there, and then we saw him in a play there.
Yeah, we will be in England. I don't know if we'll have any time in London, but we'll be in England on. Of course, Tintagel.
That's what I was just saying.
Yeah, so
I was hoping to be in England for part of that. Yeah. I was just saying that I was because I have a painting I want to bring back with me that I started there. But yeah. Oh, what's that magic noise?
Fairy.
Yay! My gosh, outside birdies are being noisy. Yes, yeah. I don't know if the people on the TV can hear the birds, but wow.
Maybe not over the music.
The cardinals. Yeah.
This is a jaunty little tune.
It is.
I feel like I'm marching down the street.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. I've kind of made her eyelashes a bit bigger. I think I might go on the area underneath her eyebrow and do a little bit more, and then I'll get on to talking about the painting I just finished that a lot of you watched last weekend, and we'll also show off we have prizes as always.
Yes,
and we have some interesting prizes that we have not had before. Raffles, yes.
Yes, we as you know, the past few weeks we've
been Epcotting it up because I've been doing Disney stuff. So
been doing things with the Epcot pieces.
Yeah, so the past few weeks we've had the same raffle prizes because it was to tie in with the Epcot International Festival Dance, which just ended. So, but I'm even though I'm getting ready to go to other Disney now, Disneyland California for the Food and Wine Festival. That's at Disney California Adventure, and also I'll be doing 2 events at the Wonderland Gallery at Downtown Disney. And we'll talk about that a bit later.
But festivities are still coming up, not necessarily with Jasmine.
Yeah, as far as Florida goes, they are starting the Flower and Garden Festival at Epcot, which is one of my favorite festivals at Epcot. I like flowers and gardening. I like horticulture in general. And they also have little booths, and they have a lot of vegetarian food and fun little wines and stuff there. But I don't have anything myself. That's just kind of a fun thing to do.
Shaylee saw them on Baker Street.
Baker Street, okay. Wow, we went to last time we were at Baker Street, we went to that Tesco Express, remember, Maddie? And we found the vegetarian sausage rolls.
Yes.
And we're like, hey, it's Baker Street. Let's get some vegetarian sausage rolls. Okay. We were coming back. Actually, were we walking back from the Wallace collection? Weren't we? Don't we cross over Baker Street when you're coming down like you're going up the Oxford Streetway? I forgot.
I think so.
But that is of note. I'm tying it to my artwork here. But the helmet that is in the painting, I'll show you in just a second, that has the Anglo-Saxon kind of Arthurian era helmet that's in La Belle Dame Sans Merci, the painting that I think Matt's going to grab from me right now. That is based off of the picture I took of a real helmet that is there in their armor collection. I've been to the Wallace collection many times, but I've gone there specifically to take photos of armor and swords and weapons and helmets and stuff like that, so we can I can make realistic stuff in my paintings that are period appropriate. But there's the helmet. The helmet turned out so cool. I don't know if I've ever spent so much time working on reflections of something, but if you look at the helmet, you probably remember last time I started putting red all over the type of the helmet, and I was like, no, this isn't blood. This is a reflection of the poppy, because the poppy's up there. It's super, super red, and it's reflecting there. But if you look really closely, like here, you can see where her leg is reflected. You can see where her arm is reflected, and down here you can see her foot reflected. You probably can't see it very good on the close-up camera. I'll put it on the chair cam here. I don't know. Matt could probably tell you. I can't really see that far. I don't know how good you can see it, but yes, better. I should have. I had it might even be easier. I printed out a little. I put all the little grass and things around her feet. I have the printout of it. Is the printout over there?
Yes.
Oh, no, there are the wings. Remember last time I was talking about how it was a fairy theme, so I wanted to give her wings, but they're not real obvious. Yeah, here, this is smaller. Part of the reason I often show you a printout instead of a big one is because when I put it on the screen, it's too hard to see because the cameras are very close up. But here's a printout of how she looks. Again, you can probably tell how she herself, like the front, her top part, and I know it looks like a hand, but her arms and everything are kind of darker. And then I went with the very super bright, the lightest part of the painting really is where the sun or the moon, it's really hard to tell in this painting, is hitting her legs and her foot and her hand. And there's a good view of the little helmet there. But this is how the painting turned out, and I am very, very happy. She's one of my favorite ones I've done for a long time. And there are poppies strewn throughout. I know poppies do not grow on like willow trees or bushes like this. It's like the poppies are there for decoration. A few people are like, poppies are on stalks. I'm like, yes, I'm aware of plants. I know about plants. This is an artistic license here. I'm putting the poppies everywhere. And you can see the skulls too if you look at them. They're not real obvious.
People are loving it.
Yeah, oh good.
Very much.
And if you guys want to, if you weren't here last weekend, if you go up to Twitch or on YouTube and you look at last week, so it would have been February 20-something, 24th or whatever it was, you can watch while I painted this one. And I totally worked through it, and I finished that painting that same 24-hour period. I say day, but it was really the 25th when I finished it. And that's when I sent off to the magazine, Fae Magazine, FAE Magazine, one of the best magazines ever. They are a sponsor for the Tintagel Fairy Festival, where I will be debuting the print to this. And after we get back to Florida, and the festival in Tintagel in Cornwall is May the 4th. So sometime after that, after we probably stop at my London flat to pick up a couple pieces I have and some pin designs that I've designed there that I need to bring back to do for new things to physically bring it to Florida, then that's when we'll have the prints at strangeling.com, and everybody can buy the prints, and we'll have canvases. If you want one of the 5 hand-embellished canvases, let us know now, because if you're watching on Twitch or on Patreon, you guys get first dibs. So just email jasminetoad@aol.com, and Jasmine like Princess Jasmine, Toad like a frog, but not a frog, at AOL.com, and say, hey, I want one of those. I think they're going to be 18 by 24, because she was a 12 by 16, and that's the same proportions. And this will be the hand-embellished ones. I think they're $5.95 each. The original painting is $5,400, and we do have a buyer who is probably purchasing it. But in case it doesn't work out or something terrible happens, then we do take backup. So, and this painting here I'm working on now is the same size, right? This is a 12 by 16 too. It's probably hard to tell on the TV here, but it's the same size. What's that, love?
April said that's a toad, not a frog.
A toad, not a frog. Kipper the dog.
Yeah, Jasmine. We have.
I know that. I have nieces and nephews, and I spend a lot of time when I am in England having the BBC children's programming on. So.
Is Kipper British?
Yeah, honey, it's Gary. You know, Doc Martin, Men Behaving Badly. He's Kipper. Yeah.
Okay, but they show it here, right?
I think they show it here. I think they show it on. What was that? It used to be that our nephew Sprout. No, is it on Sprout or is it only in England? I forget.
I don't know.
I remember it's funny because they showed that and then they show Bob the Builder, and that has Tony from Men Behaving Badly, something like that, and then it showed Kipper, and it's like, oh, and there's Gary. Oh. Anyways.
So, raffles.
Yes, raffles. I need to tell you about raffles.
And yeah,
I don't know what the order is.
The first one is
we do this once if you guys are new here, we do this once an hour. We give away a free prize that is somehow Jasmine related. They're usually rare items that I've made over my lifetime, or free samples I get from companies that license my artwork. Sometimes we buy stuff at Disney is the first one. Oh, it is from Disney.
Jack and Sally mug.
This is a good one.
I'm just going to hand
first hour
it
prize. Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Big tonight.
Yeah, these are all larger items, and they're completely free. You just have to type !raffle, all one word, and Twitch will set up the raffle for us because they have MoveBot software. This is a lovely, 18-ounce mug or something.
I don't know.
You use them for coffee. It has if you like coffee, it puts a lot of coffee in there. And this is Jack and Sally. This is part of the Nightmare Before Christmas 25th anniversary merchandise line they had at Disney. This is from Disney World, from Disney's Wonder Grand Gallery. It is licensed by myself, by Disney, and by Tim Burton. So it's an official merchandise. You can get these still, I think, at Disneyland and Disney World. I'm not sure. I don't know how long it was an anniversary thing, so I think it's still there. If not, you can get them. Matt will put a link later at a shopping service called Your WDW Store, and they sell all my Disney stuff, which is pretty cool. But it's a lovely mug, and we will give that away. And this is super fun. I will make sure not to get paint on this because that would ruin it. This is one of my throw blankets, and this is made by the company that was previously called People's Choice Apparel. Now they're called Artist versus Art.
And their website will be up soon.
Their website is not up yet, but you can go to their Amazon store, and they totally sell these. And these are throw blankets, and this one is Frost Dragonling. I don't know if you can see it because I can't see anything.
It's fantastic.
These are super warm, super soft, and if you have kitty cats, they love these blankets. Our kitties go into a trance. They kind of sit on top of them and they make little biscuits on this wonderful soft thing. And these are great blankets. They make loads of them, and I like this. It's like they could have left the back blank, but instead they put my giant signature on that. Isn't that great? So it's kind of
It's
fun.
already signed.
It's already signed. Yeah, it's huge. That'd be a big pen, but this one is a frost draggling, but they do loads of them. And I think it's only on the U.S. Amazon site right now.
Correct.
People
I'll put up a
choice.
link shortly.
Matt will put a link up because you can buy these. You don't have to just win them as prizes. But fairly soon, they are working on rebuilding their website and rebranding as the Art versus Artist or whatever it is one. And that will be one that everybody can buy from. But for now, it's just on the U.S. website. And that will be that'll be our second giveaway. And then our third giveaway is, and Matt will sign this too because he wrote one of the stories in it. This is my new art book. If you don't have this, you are missing out. It's like getting 300 prints at once or something. It's pretty fantastic. Forever Strange. It's a fancy hardcover book that is published by Blue Angel, distributed by Llewellyn Books. And it is, I collect art books. How many art books do you think I have, Maddie?
Probably 200 or more.
Oh, I see. I thought it was more like 400 or 500. But this is I don't even know if you can see this on here. It's a huge hardcover coffee table book that is like art quality printed. Oh, there's Hansel. Somebody's asking if I paint little boys. There's Hansel from Hansel and Gretel. But it has stories that are written by Katrina McLeod and Amber Logan and Matthew David Beckett. Those are my two sisters and my husband, Matthew. And it has loads of very fancily printed. Any one of these you could totally frame, but I would keep it as a book. But I mean, this one, for example, is one painting. It's on a big double spread like this, and oh, you can see all the little sea beasties. Yay! Anyways, it's but you can buy this on Amazon too. You don't have to win it as a prize. You can buy it. You can get signed ones at strangeling.com.
That's the best way.
That's the best way. If you want it cheaper, you can get Amazon, but it's not going to be signed, but it will be cheaper. And you know Amazon, they'll have free shipping, and we have to like bring them to the post office. So, oh, Butterfly Chariot. I hardly ever see that one. I love that painting. Oh, and 3 little birds. I'm sorry, I haven't looked through this for a little while since it came out. Oh, it's got Smile in there too. And it also has, in the back, there's a section where I talk about each picture in the whole book, and I talk about the inspiration behind it, and when I painted it, and why, and it just goes on, and it's pretty great. It's definitely my best book I've ever done, and I will sign it, and Matt will sign it, and then that will be our third prize. So our fourth prize, and this will be around the time we sign off, probably around 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We have a pin. We always give away a pin because I have a lot of my pin people here, and I could not do this without my wonderful pin people. So we have a seashell collector, which is, if you are a pin person, you know this is a rare one. You cannot purchase this. It was one that was given away for free at the Pop Gallery during my December show this past year. So unless you were there or had a friend who was there, you can't get this unless you get it from me, because I don't sell them when it's an event exclusive. I might keep the extras for myself and I give them away, or we trade them or put them on our lanyards, or I give them away at Twitch. And I also give them away to my Patreon pin collector tier at Patreon. So, but you can get one right now. She, in some ways, is, I think we did a vote at one point, and she was people's favorite individual pin of last year. I think part of it has to do with the palette. She's got a very kind of pastel palette, which works with this sort of beach thing, because she's got like pink and yellow and tan and cream, but there's nothing really harsh about it. And there's a bit of coral in there, and her hair kind of goes off to the side. And it worked really good with the show I was doing because I kind of had a lot of mermaids there. But she's an enamel pin, and you can't buy her. The other things you can buy, but this one is one you cannot buy.
Some people in the room need her.
Okay. Oh, like they're collecting and they're missing her? Oh, excellent. Yeah, well, that's a good reason to watch Twitch and to be at Patreon and stuff like that, because that is the only way you can get some of these things.
Princess Bullet want to know if you have any of the upcoming pins to show.
Let's see. Which ones?
We don't currently.
You know, I have them here in Florida, but they're at my other house at the where my shipping center is, which is about 20 minutes from here. So I don't physically have them. I have the designs for them that I printed out if you want to see those. Because some of you might remember, and this will be the March pin of the month that we're shipping out to every. Sorry if I'm talking about pins a lot. We get a lot of pin questions, but if you look back maybe 3 episodes ago, was it Manny? I forget. Was it before? Or maybe it was while I was painting Absinthe Reflections. So. Anyways, I did the actual painting for this one, which was Voodoo and Violet, and she's the March pin of the month, and she will be one that anybody who's already a Patreon pin collector or anybody signs up right now, it's technically March, so you'll get her. These will be shipping out like in the next week or so.
Yeah, if you're on the pin collector
if you're a pin collector, you'll get her automatically,
go.
and she is Voodoo and Violet, and if you want to look back and see how I make the pins, you can see me when I was designing it. And I think I asked y'all for some feedback when you're like, where should I put the pins? And they're like, oh, let's put one in his heart. Let's put one on his hand. You know, it's kind of fun. And she's got one for who knows where that one's going. But she'll be the March pin of the month. She will be available for purchase, as the pin of the months always are. She'll be up at strangeling.com. Probably she won't be up there until probably the mid part of March, but if you're a Patreon person, you get her automatically. Then here's the one that will ship with her that somebody was asking about earlier. This is Luna Moths, and her actual painting design isn't even as cool as the pin because the pin's gonna glow in the dark. So the parts, not the yellow and the red kind of moon bit, but the parts that are that bluish kind of green, like on the Luna Moths
We'll
themselves.
be able to definitely, many
Yes.
of you will have it by the time we do our next Twitch.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I definitely will, because we won't be here next Sunday because I'll be in California.
Right.
So
we will be in California.
our next broadcast is a week from Sunday, not next Sunday, because I will literally be at
Who's
California,
coming to
but-
see us next week?
Oh, yes.
California. I know
also,
we have a
real
lot
quick,
of California folks
here's
here.
the at the easel. She's the one for Kansas City at Spectrum / Planet Comic Con. End of this month. in
Jasmine,
Kansas
the
City.
pin
Yep.
people say that you're spoiling them.
I'm sorry.
Hey, that's better than say that she's not.
I'm not spoiling. I might as, if I have a pin here, I might as well.
It is
yes.
St. Patrick's Day, yes.
Yeah, it will be on St. Patrick's Day, and you know, it's like I've had bad luck lately. Last time before last, it was the Super Bowl, and it was Twitch, and now it's gonna be St. Patrick's Day at nighttime, and that's my next Twitch. But I'm gonna be in California for a week, so I can't really broadcast there because I don't have an actual studio. Hoping to change that eventually, but so far when I go to California, it's just to do gallery things. And
Someday we'll just have a house in every country.
yeah, I mean, California's a whole country, right?
Almost.
Yeah, kind of. It's pretty big. It's big enough to be a country.
It's just so hard to drive there. I don't
It
know
is
how
hard
you
to-
Californians do it.
Yeah. Well, it's funny to go from somewhere like London where you take cabs and tubes and things. You take public transport and stuff everywhere, and then you go to California and it's like highway. Which is part of the reason eventually we're hoping to get a little place somewhere in the
A
southern part of
Nintendo guy
California.
has faith that we'll still have a bunch of people here on St. Patrick's Day.
We probably will.
Everyone will be
Especially if I
drinking
do a
green
cool
beer.
prize or something. That's true, but that should not interfere with your St. Patrick festivities. I'm not going
Feel
to
free
sit
to
here
drink green beer and
green
chat with
beer
me.
and
I don't mind.
eat vegetarian corned beef and
Black
cabbage.
Orchid Fairy says, keep talking about pins, please.
Yes. Oh, Black Orchid Fairy should say that because we are planning a Black Orchid Fairy pin. I think we talked about that last time. I think it will either be April or May for the pin of the month. That will be one that everybody can get and the Patreon people get right away. That will be a Black Orchid Fairy pin. So if you don't get that one, that's kind of funny because that's your name, right? I don't know if it has anything to do with my painting, but you could just like black orchids and fairies. But if you do like the painting called Black Orchid Fairy, I will have a pin based off of her sometime this spring, before it turns summer.
We have to do green theme giveaways.
You know what? Maybe I will. I could at least do ones that are kind of Celtic or Irish themed.
We could do prints.
I have some more. I have some still. I've got a few leftovers from the Kansas City Run for with the Strangely Lonely, which is the Celtic cross.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that would be a good one for St. Patrick's Day. I mean, gosh, we had a few St. Patrick's Day where we were actually at St. Patrick's Chapel in Glastonbury. That's lined up a few times because it's when the Glastonbury show is. Remember we were there with your mom?
Yes.
And we went to the little chapel.
I love it.
Yeah. Like, 1,000 years old or something. It has wonderful
Something wacky
murals
like
in
that.
it. And, but this year we'll be here at Twitch. But yeah, next week we are in California. And I have 3 autographing events happening in California within 24 hours. Which is kind of crazy. We've got one Friday, March the 8th.
Yes.
And that one is from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock p.m. And that will be at the Wonderground Gallery at Downtown Disney. So you don't need a ticket or anything. You can just show up. And that is at, again, 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock p.m. this coming Friday. in California, not the Wonderground here in Florida, because I know there's always a handful of people who go to the wrong one. It's like, no, I'm on the other side of the country. But the one that's in California. And then that next morning, I will be at the Food and Wine Festival inside Disney California Adventure for the morning bet from like 11 o'clock until 1 o'clock. And then from the park, I go to the Wonderground Gallery again at Downtown Disney on that Saturday, March the 9th.
We apologize for the confusing
from
schedule.
2 to 4. Yes, if you look at my events page, it spells it out for you. But yeah, it's 3 signings. Basically, once at Wonderground, then I go over to in the morning, I go to the Food Wine Festival inside the park, and then I go back to Wonderground. So there are 2 places you can see me without buying a ticket. Or if you have a ticket or your annual pass holder, go to the one in the Food and Wine Festival, because it probably will not be nearly as crowded because you do not have to have a ticket. So if you have a ticket, go to the one that requires a ticket, because you might as well, and I'll be able to chat probably. It probably won't even be very crowded, so you can just come hang out with me and Matt. And it's a Food and Wine Festival, and it's fun. It's the California one, which is different than the one here in Florida, because instead of being different countries, like how Epcot is an international one, where it's like, here's Morocco, here's France, it's all California themed, which is kind of neat. So it focuses on different regions and different influences that California has on their cuisine and culture, and it's pretty cool.
Lisa Isabella Russo says, I'm very much hoping to go to one of those. The weather's been more rainy / cold than usual.
I've heard
You
that.
might want to bring something warm.
That's it. I was kind of casually thinking about different. I'm supposed to kind of dress up for the signing event, so I was like looking at dresses, and I'm like, I have all these sundresses and all this Florida stuff, and I was like, oh, they'll work for California. And I was like, oh wait, it's 59 degrees out. I don't know if I'm gonna wear a sundress, but I don't know. We'll have to see what the weather is actually going to be like, because sometimes it's a week or 2 or a week. Well, it's less than a week, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like 5 days from now.
Rengel says, I don't know how you two keep your schedule memorized like that. I can't even remember what day today is.
I have
It's Sunday.
Yeah, it is
There
Sunday.
you go. I helped you out.
Sunday, March the 3rd.
Send $1 to our
I think I have to kind of memorize it, because otherwise I wouldn't know where I was, and I'm going between five different houses and studios, so I kind of have to memorize
It helps that
that.
you're contractually obligated.
Well, yeah, that's true, and it's my job. It's like when I used to work at Dairy Queen, I'd remember, I've got to do a double shift on this day and a half shift on this day. I just kind of think of it the same way. Not that it's like working at Dairy Queen. It's kind of similar, but less ice cream.
Jasmine. Sounds like a lot of bullshift.
Maddie, this is an all ages channel.
I know.
Yeah. To be fair, that was one of my first words. Not what he said, but the other one.
Yeah. We have 95 viewers. We're at
Oh, for heaven's sake. Thank you.
15 minutes to our first raffle.
Oh, excellent. And the
which is
first one
mug.
is the mug, the Jack and Sally mug.
Yes. And then the second raffle again is that big throw.
The wonderful
I don't know how many
throw
times
blanket. Yeah.
It's kind of hard for Jasmine.
It is. I'll show it when it's closer to that one, but y'all know the mug. And have you posted a link where people want to buy one of the mugs, like if they don't
I'll
win?
do that.
Yeah, because if you don't, I mean, actually, you have pretty good odds here. It's like the opposite of the lottery. If you're here, you're probably going to win something eventually. But you can also just buy them. You can buy them
There
at
are some people in the room
Disneyland.
that think they have bad luck.
Well, that's the thing. You can. Some people have won it a couple times, which is
They
you know
definitely
who's
have.
never won is Matt, because technically I think
that's weird.
the software makes Matt enter when he
So
sets
there
up
you
the
go.
raffle, and it's
Yeah,
never
it does
happened.
not know. It does not know.
If Matt did
different
win, we
from
would
anyone
immediately
else.
do redraw. We would not give Matt a throw blanket because he can have all the blankets he wants, kind of. Not really. Actually, that cost a bit of money, but you know.
I will get as
He
many
would give it away
mattresses
to
and
someone.
as many blankets as I
Oh.
like because I am the princess and the pea.
Oh, yeah. You're kind of. No, you're not real picky. You'll sleep on the floor and use a magazine for a pillow.
I remember
Yeah.
when I was little, there was this one girl and her parents called her princess,
Uh-huh.
and she once peed the bed, so we called her
Oh,
princess
that's
and the pea.
mean. That's sad. How old was she?
2 or 3.
Oh, okay. Well,
And we were
that's
the
less
same.
sad. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like in middle school or anything.
Yeah, and then there's one little girl who did a number in the backyard, and we called her Pepe Le Pew.
Manny. People were mean back then.
She thought it was funny.
Oh, well. Maybe she just didn't know how to react to it, so she pretended to
Ren
laugh
Girl
at it.
hasn't won either.
Okay. Well, you and Matt are two of a kind here.
I think that
2 peas in
I
a
think that
pod.
if I win for some reason, I probably can make it redraw somehow.
We
I'd have to
haven't
figure out how to
had
do
it
it.
happen, but we can probably make it do that because I'm
I
not
can
going to
probably
let
make it do
Matt win a prize that he could get from me either.
Oh, Layla always grabs her blankie before she leaves the room. You know what, Layla? If you win that throw, you can grab that one.
Aw. It is a super cute blanket. And it's the Frost Dragonling one, right?
Yes.
Which is also available on
Frost
StrangeTime.com
Dragonling.
as a print and a canvas cutie and stuff like that. You can get her in. She's a statue, Evan, isn't she?
Oh, she's gorgeous now.
Yeah.
Frost Dragonling is probably one of our most popular images.
It is.
People
She
love
has
that
the
one.
northern lights in the background, which was a fun thing to paint because we were talking about the northern lights last night, and about even though people kind of know how they work like scientists, they're still kind of mysterious in a way.
Well, see, that's a good example. Ricky says she
Yeah.
hasn't won,
Okay. See.
but her little boy and Matt have won.
Okay, so her
So,
husband and her son
The thing is,
have
if she'll
one,
have
but
3
she
people
has-
in the
yeah,
room,
Yeah.
she wins. And Layla usually has 3 people in the room
Oh
too.
yeah, she's got a son and a
She's got
husband
hubby
too.
and her
yeah.
son.
Mm-hmm.
So those things help, and I know I think both Layla's hubby and son have won.
I think so.
You still have little originals to give away on Patreon. As Flowers in the Attic.
Yeah, I do,
My God,
and I'll
is
be.
this room psychic?
I was gonna say,
This
I don't know
room
if you guys are.
psychic.
Did I say that? I might have said it on Patreon.
I don't think you did.
Okay, but you are
Sometimes-
psychic because I'm going to be
Yes.
working on that in like 2 hours or something. I will start working on a mini original that I'm giving away at Patreon. So stay tuned. Probably the last hour of our broadcast. What I'm going to do is kind of start it off. I just started sketching one right before the camera started rolling, and I will fill it in a bit more, and it will be a customizable mini painting. I've literally got it right here, psychic people. But that's one that we will be giving away for free up at
Yes.
Patreon to some random Patreon person. And whenever we do that at Patreon, again, it's not, you can't do raffles at Patreon, but I can randomly surprise people. So it doesn't matter what tier you're in, even if you're like a $1 person, does not matter. You all get an equal chance. So that is one of the ways
Kieran
you can
has
get
not
a
won.
tiny.
I thought
Kieran has
Kieran
not.
had.
Okay, I think Nigel got one.
I think so.
I think so. I think so. I'm gonna confuse it with somebody else, but I think so. So I'm
Mimi says I have not won, but that's okay. I feel very humble where
Oh.
I am, and what I have is a fan. Oh, you're so sweet.
Oh, that's
Mimi.
a sweet.
Mimi
sweet
says
thing
sweet
to
things.
say. Yeah, that's very.
She's
sweet.
not like everybody else.
Oh.
I'm just joking.
Hey,
Everyone's a sweet.
a lot of everybody
No,
in
I'm
our
just
group
joking.
here are actually very
Actually,
nice.
no,
If you
I'm-
look at the internet in general,
You
the
know,
people in this
it's
room are
true.
awesome and very polite.
I
the
don't
rest of the
often
internet's awful.
frequent
I don't know, man.
like
yeah,
chats and things, but sometimes I see it and it's just the.
it's like
people are so
depressing
mean
sometimes.
to each other.
Yeah, no, people here are nice.
Well, I think you've
like
won
that.
twice, Kitten.
Oh.
I know Bob hasn't won, but I think you've won twice.
Oh, is it a kitten and a mitten, or is that a different kitten?
No, it's different.
Sorry,
Girl in the
kitty.
Mitten.
Oh, girl in the mitten. I'm sorry. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, and that's,
I'm confusing with the other.
Jason.
Sorry, I used to have a live journal friend who was kitten.
And
in
I
the
didn't
mitten.
realize In the Mitten was referring to the geography
Ah,
of I think Detroit, is it? In that area?
in the mitten.
That Nintendo guy would be able to tell me. Okay, I'm gonna make a quick coffee because we have 10 minutes, and I feel like I need a quick pick me up because I want to stay talkative for you guys.
Aw.
And
We were up late yesterday.
we were
it was,
up.
It was our anniversary yesterday.
Yeah.
Not that,
Okay,
that means
this
that
is
you'd
late
stay up
for
late.
me and Jasmine.
It was
What was
almost midnight.
It was almost midnight,
Oh my
yeah.
god.
Sometimes we'll have food and then
We
go
get
straight
up.
to bed.
We are people who wake up literally at 4 o'clock in the morning. So midnight for us is late. That might not sound like it's late if you sleep till 7 o'clock or if you sleep till 8 o'clock. But if we get up at 4, midnight's kind of late. So if we're sleepy, that's okay. But Maddie, you have mugs you can use that have my artwork on them, and you can make coffee with those mugs. Funny, it looks like I have coffee here, but it's actually herbal tea. This is mine. This is a Disney one. I think they
that's a
still
nice
make the.
one. I like
This
that
is
one.
Ursula.
Let's see.
I don't know if you
I've
can see
got
it.
a choice here.
Ursula. And it's this is not a prize, and I'm not selling it, but you can get these at Disney World. I love them. Yeah.
Jasmine, I've got a Heart of Nails.
Mm.
Oh, that's just Disney. Really.
Heart of Nails is one I just made for myself. I don't think you can buy that one. Huh?
Another different types of bell.
Oh,
Alice.
Alice. Got 2 Jasmine mugs. Yay.
Haunted Man.
Oh, what happened? Is it the Haunted Mansion Bride one?
Yep.
I don't think you can buy that one anymore, but I'd love to show it off.
Sure. Okay.
She was the first one. I think that was the first mug that Disney ever did. And I could talk to people about my Haunted Mansion thing that's happening not too distant future.
What is that, Jasmine?
Well, actually, there are a couple things, but this is one of the latte mugs that they make
Yeah, I
at
don't
Disney
think
World.
you can get that anymore.
You can probably find it on like eBay or Amazon or something.
that's the
This is
first, right?
literally the first one. What's it say? Oh, it doesn't say what year, but I think this would have been like, I don't know, 2009. It was like from 10 years ago or something. Or no, probably 9 years ago. I don't know.
I don't know. It's kept well.
Yeah, and you use that every day for like years. And we even put them in the dishwasher. I don't even know if you're supposed to. They probably last longer if you don't, but it's convenient. Yeah, well, who does, man? It's like doing laundry by hand. Who doesn't want to use a laundry machine? I was recently invited. I don't have specific dates yet for Disney at the Magic Kingdom here in Florida. You know how usually when I'm at Disney Springs in Florida. I'm signing either at the Pop Gallery or at the Wonderground Gallery, which is in Disney Springs, which is kind of the free area you go to. You don't have to have a ticket for. It's not in one of the actual parks. It's like kind of like our downtown Disney. It used to actually be called that. But anyways, there is a store called Memento Mori that is the gift shop at the Haunted Mansion inside the Magic Kingdom here at Disney World, and they